when I do come to Australia, be like, you know what, I had a really shaky moment. I enjoy creative moments with it. I'll keep expressing myself.
What techniques have you explored, tried, failed, worked, not worked?
People go to the movies to be entertained. I actually just started hosting for fun, for me, and being more genuinely creative. We're gonna make people come to us. There's not a Disney World in every city in the US. Money and finances and things like that. And I looked at what they wanted me to speak on.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of Tim Talks Ortho. Just a reminder, we are a orthodontic podcast, but we talk about much more than just moving teeth. It's an opportunity to sit down with some of the brightest orthodontic minds in the world to talk about not only biomechanics, we do sometimes, but to speak about the wider peripheral things and sometimes the topics that don't get discussed enough. So I'm very, very honored to introduce you to my guest today, who probably needs no introduction, but for some of you who might need that, it's Dr. Grant Collins from Collins Orthodontics. Many of you might also know him as the braces guy. So we are going to talk about the braces guy today, but we also do want to understand Grant a little bit as well. So Grant, thanks for joining us. Absolute pleasure to have you with us today, especially off the back of our conference here.
Awesome conference, yeah.
Yeah,
so happy to be here. This is a great way to end it.
Thank
really
you.
Is, yeah.
For those of you who might not know, and this might not make the cut, but Grant was kind of out partying with us until a little bit late, so we're both a little bit ropey today.
So let me explain this. So there was a costume party, and I came as the classic American grunge artist, Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. And I had to explain my outfit all night. Everyone thought I was the character from Scooby-Doo.
We just saw the wig.
Yeah, they saw it. So I was on the side, just kind of minding my own business until they requested Smells Like Teen Spirit. And then that was my time. Mm-hmm. And once that happened, I got up into the front, started dancing to my song, and then I was just out there the rest of the night.
I think it was the band that were like, if you're going to dress like this, you can
they
get
pulled me out
onto
there.
This dance floor and do it. And I turned around and you were just jumping.
Yeah, I was jumping. I was doing it just straight back to the 90s, straight back to when I was in the 8th grade doing that same thing. But your outfit, amazing. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was like a cut, because you were Elton John.
Yeah.
Right? Combined with like the LA, I was saying like
Dodgers.
LA Dodgers. I loved it. I do love guitar. I do love playing music. And back in the United States, I have some friends who also enjoy it that are orthodontists. So we'll actually play in a band called Relapse at some conferences. And they let me play a couple songs.
Of course it's called Relapse.
It's so fun. Yeah, right. Best or Relapse or both the teeth and the throwback songs we do.
So right, ortho audience.
What's so cool is like I did Free Fallin' for years with them as a guest singer, and then they said, if you do that one more time, we're not going to invite you back. So then, in a teasing way, but then like you got to do something else. So we chose Wonderwall from Oasis, which I love.
It's a tune.
Yeah, it is, and feels welcome here. So.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. There were a lot of Liam Gallagher's and
there were
last night, which I thought was pretty interesting.
But those guys are some of my best friends now. So.
Good.
Yeah, good.
And in terms of, let's start with your story, right? Because most people might know you now as the guy that's got 4.6 million followers on TikTok and 1 million and on YouTube and 5 million combined across all platforms and stuff, which are really impressive stats. And I don't want to minimize those as well, but I'm really cognizant that there is always a journey to that point that often isn't not understood, but isn't often seen, right? So I want to rewind back to little Grant first and talk to me about literally right back that far. And was it always ortho? Was it always, what did you want to do with your life when you were younger?
Man, when I was younger, I loved playing sports. I actually played soccer, so football for you guys here, but ski racing. I love sports in general. I feel like at an early age, I learned that my self-worth was through accomplishing and kind of proving myself through those moments. And I don't think there was any malicious intent from parents or society in any way. It's just kind of how we are and how I was programmed. So, but I got really good at it. And so I feel like, I just climbed the ladder from an early age and knew how to achieve things pretty well. But when it comes to so I feel like my interest in ortho eventually came to be when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
It became an interest in dentistry, and then when I went to dental school, an interest in ortho.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's interesting is what I found too is that like the whole social media blow up part, where that like it wasn't from me working, like when I was working really hard using like my old school mechanics, like I'm just going to achieve this to try to grow. It didn't really happen. It was like, that's not when it happened. Usually when I was just like, I stopped caring, I actually just started posting for fun for me and being more genuinely creative and how I wanted to. And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, it just blew up out of nowhere, which was really nice. I mean, it's nice it happened that way, but there's some, positives and negatives to, to having 4.6 million TikTok followers.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I even see it at conferences and stuff, right? Like, that's my only reference point, but it's like everyone wants a piece and, and understandably so. You kind of put that out and that's sort of a byproduct of it. And
it is.
Or an unintended byproduct, I guess, that isn't, like you say, the goal or consideration at the time, as I think is completely understandable. But has your life sort of changed in some ways with what you do share, don't share, how deep, how not? Like, because you're still a human at the end of the day, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think when you get projected into the public spotlight, it's very exposing to some degree, and you kind of want to pull back a little bit. So you get, at first was very just like, I'm going to just post very certain things and keep certain things private. And I still do that to some degree, but you're right. I mean, I've said, but at the end of the day, you're still human and you want to be viewed as that. You want to say, hey, there's a human behind the person that is entertaining you or however you view it. It's like the, I don't know the entire quote, but the man in the arena.
And how, because I mean, we talk about it with our doctors all the time, and I'm sure everybody can resonate with the fact that running and being a principal and building a practice, forget all of the other stuff that you've achieved, right? Like that's obviously super impressive, but you also have this other hat and this other job that you wear, which is or hats, I should say, clinician, dad, business owner, all these sorts of things, and often with conflicting priorities and those sorts of bits as well. And often our doctors in the network say it's a really lonely space sometimes, to try and figure that out of, when it's all starts and stops with you, that's a incredibly, I think, unsettling space for anyone, right? Do you ever feel that as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you described it perfectly. I mean, just what you said, I feel seen, but it is that. So if you put all the social media aside, which was really just a creative outlet, how it started for me, and still is to some degree a way to express myself. But when it comes down to it, the clinic is grueling. I mean, it's amazing. I love my team. You couldn't get better people than the ones that surround me. But at the end of the day, being a leader for a team is a choice, and it's not for everybody. I mean, if you're going to own a business and do that stuff, that's not for everyone. And the people that enter into your life, and the people that are with you, your kids, their mom, we have a great co-parenting relationship, or any future relationship that I do have, this comes with it. And it's a lifestyle that it takes a special soul to be a part of that. And even my kids, it takes their special souls to be a part of this too. So, but when I do take the hat, I tried my best at and I wasn't always good at this, but now I've realized the importance of it is when I'm done with work, when I'm with my kids, when I get time with I'm going to be present with them and love up on them. And just when I'm not at being a business owner and I'm being a dad, I'm going to be a dad. So, yeah.
And what are some of those techniques, right? Because we spoke about it before about what you're going to do today. You're like, I'm going to go journal. So we know that as one, but I won't steal your thunder. But what techniques have you explored, tried, failed, worked, not worked?
Yeah.
Because that's a journey in itself.
Just to get clarity, techniques with
like how to be present. So in terms of like, okay, when I switch off, which in theory you just flick the magical switch and it's as simple as that, right? But actually your brain doesn't often work like that. You have to go through different, learn yourself what works for you. Yeah. And then maybe I'm projecting. I struggle with that, sometimes, and then sometimes the the tool or the method or the technique that I use that's
Yeah.
worked all of a sudden doesn't work, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I need to go find something else now. Do you ever do that?
I'm so glad you asked this question, and I think you described it perfectly in that everyone's going to have a little bit different thing that allows them to come to presence, or it brings them to presence, into a flow state, into a state of trust and surrender. I think everybody has a different trigger that will do that for them. It's just about finding, because we all read the same stuff in different books. We're all kind of reading different variations of trying to do the same thing. For me personally, what I found is I'm not the guy. I see the people who are like, let's do yoga, and that's the way to get. I'm like, I will do yoga, and I can't get the feet to go right. They're like take your right leg and put it around your neck, and I'm like, I can't do that. So that just doesn't work for me, but it does for other people. So what I've found for me, presence, and you talk about the concept of meditation, or that's really where I find it the best, where I'm in places of quiet, I'm journaling, I'm listening to music that doesn't have words, because words bring energy in too. So I'm just clearing everything. I found that nature does that for me too. Even I don't have to sit there and meditate like a monk. I can just walk through nature. It'll give me the same effect. But getting quiet, but also, like in a weird way, editing videos for social media, I get lost in that. Like if you've seen the what's that Disney movie? I can't remember. Soul, I think is what it's called. Okay. But they have a section of it where it talks about getting into this like flow state in the quote zone, and everybody has something that gets them in the zone where they get lost and stuff. Yeah. For me, it was football. It was soccer. When I was younger, and now it's creative projects. Yeah.
Nice. And one of your sort of philosophies, you spoke about it at the conference to the team, which was really well received as well. So firstly, thank you. But was around your philosophy of you're either trying to do two things when you create content and put things out, right? So it's very much either you want to educate or you want to entertain. Yeah. And obviously I have an inside scoop on this a little bit, having listened to you for the last couple of days. But for those of you who haven't had the ability to do that, talk to me a little bit about that concept. Yeah.
So the question at the conference was, how do you make a video go viral? And so I was answering specifically to that question when I had those two things I spoke about. And there's really two ways to make a video go viral if you're looking to do that as far as orthodontics. Well, there's more than two, but two main ways I would use. One is providing value to someone. So education is a big one in orthodontics. So there's a lot of patients out there who don't know. They're Googling stuff. They're trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong. So for professionals that can help them with that and help them on their journeys, that's a great way to help people, and it will reach a lot of people. And that's why it does go viral, because a lot of people can find that useful. So we'll do that. And then the other one is to entertain. So it's like, people go to the movies to be entertained. So in a weird way, you're watching a very, very short film of someone that can entertain them. And people love to be entertained by things that they can relate to as well. So a lot of like the entertainment types of things that we've done have been kind of poking fun at the fun parts of the orthodontic journey that, we call out a little bit. Like you broke a bracket off because you're eating something you shouldn't. Instead of like pretending that's all like bad and getting after people, let's actually poke fun at those scenarios. So we created these skits and these things and these characters, and had a good time with it. So yeah, throughout the years. I don't do that much as anymore, but I would also say, so those two things will go viral, but I also have been very comfortable with expressing my authentic self through different things too. I love sunsets. I love my kids. I love traveling. So I'll express that knowing it won't go viral, but I don't care. It's still part of me. So, yeah, that's part of it too.
No, I love that. I think it's not like just clickbait, right?
Exactly.
It's what you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things I loved, and where I actually came across you years and years ago actually, was the debunking of myths. Do you know when you
yes.
It was very much like, well, actually, does charcoal toothpaste actually fucking work?
Yeah.
And all it was great.
That goes way back, doesn't it? Oh my God. Yeah. I like that. I do remember that. Oh man, back in the day, there was so many creative, like when TikTok first came out, I kind of viewed it like just this blank canvas of like, what if you just treated 15 seconds of video to just do whatever you want, see what happens?
Yeah.
It's like, so I was like walking through stores, showing people stuff, tying different things in, trying to relate braces to, different cereal brands. I mean, it was just crazy stuff. But I'm like, how creative
wigs.
can we get?
It's the wig. When you put on a wig, I'm just.
I know the wigs.
Yeah. That's why when I saw you last night, I was like, the wig
he knows.
Is out.
Oh yeah, my team makes fun of me because like I had so many wigs at one point. There's like, you go in my office, there's a drawer, you pull the drawer out, there's just wigs busting out. It was just like everyone. If somebody needed something, I had one person
drag
that dressed
office.
up. I know, right? I was like, man, I think I have issues. I think I have problems. But that's all right. I got her mustache. Yeah. It was pretty epic.
100%. I mean, what a work perk, right?
Exactly.
You need a dress up wardrobe? We got you.
I'm going to put that on the job application website as a perk.
100%.
Yeah.
And I guess that's another question that, kind of just popped into my mind is, obviously you love it. So, and that just exudes from you. You can tell it's not fake. It's not, you're not doing it to be anything. You're just you. And if you like it, you like it. And a lot of people, luckily for you, a lot of people do, in many respects as well. So I think that's great. And that's amazing. Clearly, it resonates, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How do you, a lot of practices struggle to bring their team with them on that, right? So you have one of two challenges in a practice. It's either the ortho or the doctor or the principal isn't necessarily as interested or as comfortable on camera, right? And I think, we're trying to break some of that down with workshops and getting people used to doing stuff like this and understanding that actually you can be a bit stupid. Yeah. The magic is in the editing. It's not necessarily what you film is what the final cut looks like, and I think once you get comfortable with that, you like some of the shockers I've had is like, whew,
okay, I just got to
go for it.
I'm like, okay, so yeah, you're totally right. And I think people get uncomfortable on the camera, but you're right. The editing is definitely where you get to show people what you want to show after you're done. Man, I had like stuff I would film. I had this one, I remember early on, I had a wig on, all this kind of stuff.
Of course you had a wig on.
Yeah, it was like I was doing a trend of some sort and I had a glow in the dark Holly retainer I was wearing. So like a lot of the video is me just like just like dry heaving and then spitting out and just trying not to throw up because it kept triggering it. And I'm like, it was like 5-10 minutes of that. Like, even when I'm editing, I'm like, where's the normal stuff? So it's like you got to just be cool with that. And that's hilarious. If you look back at it, it's actually really entertaining.
100%. I enjoy those bits more than the actual final cut sometimes. Because it's almost, but we talk about that public and what you put out and what's for you. And that's the chuckles and that's the bit that gives you a little bit of joy as well. Because you're like, oh my gosh. do you know?
Oh yeah. And those are the moments where you laugh with your team too. And or they walk in on you and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, just I connect through humor so much. And even with my team, like you said, it's like, how to get your team on board. Obviously like what I do. I just like people most of the time. I need breaks from people. I definitely need to recenter and recharge because I'm very empathic. So I take on energies easily, but I love being playful all day. I'll be playful with my team. I love up on them. We work hard. I do have set intention and we're playful with our patients and that lighter energy. Even when we're serious and we're working hard and we're having a good, we want good results. That balance is, I think, really key to creating a good culture. So,
yeah, and I think that's so important, specifically now. Like, I can only sort of use reference point of Australia and the UK and softer markets, GDP competition, all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
It's shifting. The landscape and the foundational floor, I think, is moving, and that's uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable at any time. I feel like it's a regurgitation of what's been going around in any way, shape, or form in competition. So I think it's sort of not as catastrophic, I think, as a lot of people are sometimes feeling or getting in their own heads about. But like, I think one of the themes and one of the things you said and Rhonda said and, also Angus was the whole being kind and not losing that central anchoring around people and culture.
Yeah.
Easily lost.
Oh, it can get. And I think I could probably speak for them as well. I'm sure they've been parts of their journey where it's gotten lost too. And so when it does, you feel that.
Yeah.
And so coming back to kindness is just, you can't go wrong with it. You really can't. So, yeah.
And in terms of all of the accolade and attention and visibility that it's brought, has there been, we talk about upsides obviously as well, but from a team perspective, have there been any downsides? Has it ever become a chore or another list of things to do? I know you're very passionate, so it's your outlet and those sorts of bits as well, but has there ever been a point where the team have just gone, we just need to slow that down a little bit, or is it just been
talking about with social media?
Yeah, social media, sorry.
They've been amazing with it. So there was a time we were all like, they were going and getting props and getting things for me, and we were all in for a long time. And then I think like now it's kind of naturally tapered off. Mm-hmm. And part of that's just because I've tapered off with it. But whenever I have a video idea, they're very trusting of me, like very trusting of me. So I literally can look at one of them and say, hey, I need a scene of you taking your retainer out. Can you bring it today? Mm-hmm. And they'll just be like, okay. And if someone really doesn't want to be in a video, I would never push them. Most of them just trust because they know I'm going to do my best to make them look good, make this video good. They know the quality will be there. Mm-hmm. And I would never want to put them in a position where they don't. And if it ever did, I would like, if someone, this happened once or twice where somebody reached out to me and said, I don't like myself in this video. I don't like how I look. I don't like whatever. And it's an immediate pull it down. There's no question. Like it doesn't matter how viral a video would go. If they feel
safety in a team, right?
Yeah, like you have to have safety. So if someone doesn't like how they look or someone, so that's the safety is our, first value. So that has to, like you said, emotional safety, psychological safety. So I have to live and breathe that. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like my team, they've always been so good, and it's led to a lot of laughter. A lot of times, like we did this one video where we all gathered around shooting it, but we're all laughing the whole time. So a lot of times it's even the process that brings out connection even more than the end video.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think also as well, when shit gets real and times get tough, that's the connection with each other that drags you through, right?
Absolutely. When we had COVID going on, we were shooting videos every other day. Some were educational, some were funny. I had people on my team helping me write songs that were funny we could do for it. They would come with different lyrics. I'd be like, oh, that's a great lyric. Try this one. And and then we hyped them up for that. We do different, like the other day when we did the, here's an example. We did the World Cup rankings.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we did like the pre World Cup rankings. The
sweepstake.
Yeah. We're like, let's just do that. And we wanted to do, and we paired it with our braces colors that represented each country. So, 10 was this and 9 was this and stuff like that, all the way down to, England, France, Brazil, all that stuff. But I have 8 typed on or 10 type it on. So I just gave them to each team member. I'll be like, express yourself with whatever, each person pick a flag, pick a country, and tie it in however you want. I went away, I came back, and I just found what they did, and they did amazing. And it's like, so they got to create it, and then they are excited too, because now they get to see the video and they contributed to it.
And they get to play.
They get to play.
That's the bit that we often forget is to play.
100%. I love that.
Yeah. I'm, as I'm sure you've seen, very playful, sometimes more on the playful end of the spectrum than I probably should be, much to everybody that tells me that. But, I am who I am.
That's contagious. I mean, like your energy brings other people into the play, like you said. And when that happens, the energy spreads. And I think we had enough people even at this conference where it was palpable. Yeah. It was great.
Good. And so what's kind of next on the agenda for you then, obviously, because world domination in the industry
that was it,
and authority,
right take over the world.
Yeah,
world domination. I feel like I love social media, so I think I'll keep doing some of that, but that's a little less of my, I feel like the passion for me. I enjoy creative moments with it. I'll keep expressing myself, but I love to travel. I love to lecture. Mm-hmm. Like just what I did, I do find it fills me up.
Yeah.
I connect with people in a way that's meaningful for me. I help people from what I've, gone through in my journey, but I also learn from others. And I always just learn so much. So I'd love to do more of this next. Mm-hmm. Continue being a great dad. There's always stuff to learn there. Just when you think you got it all down, your kids remind you don't.
100%. I don't have kids, but I've been well and truly informed. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Am I kicked out? Is that where I
You're
am
not coming
excused?
back.
Oh, God, this is it. It's nice knowing everybody. It was really great. This is my last
You're
podcast.
cancelled in TIO. No.
So Australia's not going to happen next year for me.
No,
Okay, yeah.
you're off the bill.
This was it. At least I know when to reference it.
Yeah,
And, like,
100%.
when I do come to Australia, be like, you know what? I had a really shaky moment, and it was when I called him
that
a child.
TD shot a look, and you just, like, he's all fun until he shoots the look. And speaking of travel, obviously you did Paris and stuff as well. What's your bucket list for travel?
Ooh. Yeah, Paris was on there. I've always wanted to go to Thailand for some reason. I want to go back to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in Australia before.
Many times?
Once for 6 weeks. Loved it.
Like
it's my
proper
walkabout.
trip.
Yeah. It was
Your
great.
walkabout.
Yeah, it's my
Oh.
walkabout. No, it was for college. I did a travel writing course in Australia.
Okay.
Because where else to do travel writing than there? It was amazing. The whole country's playful.
Yeah, 100% we are.
The whole country's playful. Like the energy's really good as a collective people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I loved it. We went through Sydney, Alice Springs, Cairns, and then back to the Blue Mountains. And it was great. I had to have something to write about. So.
Yeah, nice. And Thailand? Why Thailand?
I've seen photos, and there's just something that draws me to it. There's something about, I think, some of the Eastern traditions too, whether it's Thailand, Cambodia, spiritual, Japan, Korea. There's something that's drawing me to it. I went to Hawaii for a 10-day solo trip last year and ended up, there's this really cool Buddhist temple I spent some time at. And just there's something calming about it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to learn about the different religions and just see the commonalities, but I don't know how that's connected to source and spiritualism and everything. A lot of them say the same thing. And there's a lot to learn, and I just love to learn. So I want to go experience some of that. The food, the culture, the religion, the people.
Yeah, no, I love Thailand. My mum's Thai, so
there it is.
Yeah, Thailand's a very, very special place in my heart.
I bet.
Every time we're going between here and Australia, we always make sure we have a stopover for a few days or so.
That's
just
cool.
centres, and so the Thailand, Bali, or somewhere along that
Bali
route
too.
we'll go.
I'll add that to my list.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Bali's good.
So cool.
But yeah, and in terms of professionally, orthodontically, Collins Ortho expansion, sit tight. Where are you at with that? Because obviously, like every ortho reaches crossroads. I think that's the bit that and I think normalizing that too, right?
Yeah.
Like you can either put your foot on the pedal and go, no, I'm gonna quadruple, and sometimes quadruple your hassle, but also, or I'm choosing life. Do you know? Sometimes there is a trade off. Not always, but I think it sounds like you're obviously very grounded, very in touch. You prioritize that, and energy is important. So sometimes that doesn't align with that philosophy all the time. Do you know?
100%. Well, I think a lot of us are wired, especially in the orthodontic world, we're wired the next step, and we love to create. So the building process is fun. Mm-hmm. Even if you take over a practice, you're going to remake it yours. I mean, there's that whole, and then when you get to a certain point, like you've reached capacity, then you're at a crossroads, like you said. You're like, okay, I'm used to continue building, so I'm going to get more offices. I've reached the point where I don't want to do that. Like I love having a single location. I love the idea of kind of this concept of what Disney does, where they're like, we're going to make people come to us. There's not a Disney World in every city in the U.S.
Yeah.
There's 2, Disneyland and Disney World, but they're like, we're going to be so good. People are going to fly over the other theme parks to get to us that are closer to them. I'm like, I'd rather just continue mastering the craft of what I do and the service we provide. And there's different challenges as we've grown. And I'm still learning those. So there are challenges that I get to continue to experience and think creatively about. But I also know that there's only so much energy that you have, that creative energy. And I'm starting to find I like to also put that in other parts of life so I can build and grow and create, just maybe in different areas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. I think it's a really, really holistic way of looking at it, right? Like it's not just being drawn into hustle in some respects, which is what we're almost conditioned to, right? Especially in the orthodontic profession, it's like, you do this, you grow, your head count, you practice, how many patients and starts are you doing a year, and blah, blah, blah. Like it's kind of almost competitive in that nature anyway.
Well, I remember early on in my career, I remember just the comparisons of like, how many starts do you have? What's your TC percentage? What's your whatever, how many million are you doing? It's just like I just knew I didn't want to relate on that as like, here's who's who. And I've turned down being in groups that feels like that to me. Like it's like our status is based on a number. I'm like, man, I want to be around people who, whose purpose is bigger than that. Like, numbers help you live and they're important to continue to make sure you have a healthy business and a healthy life or whatever you got to do. But I want to be around people to be like, hey, what are you doing to make your purpose better? What are you doing to give back to humanity? How you know, just stuff like that. Like that's how I want to live. So, I just try to surround myself with other people like that.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think it's really refreshing in many ways as well. And I think, especially ortho's one of the biggest challenges is you're really well educated and equipped to be doctors, but I don't think you're also, sometimes there are exceptions. Some people are naturally more instinctive in the business ownership, leadership and those sorts of bits as well. But I think it, controversially, don't come for me, don't cancel me. But I think like often you guys aren't equipped with all of the tools and skills to successfully run a practice from day dot.
Oh, correct. Big time. We had like a 30, I can't remember, it was like a 30-minute course every week for like one semester on business in dental school. And then they're like, we're going to teach you all this stuff. And then, oh, by the way, you got to run a business. Good luck. And so I think we're blessed enough, at least in the US is how it is, that the margins that we have, that we can have a profit are large enough that we can actually sometimes not be great at running a business and still have it continue. Yeah. So it's like, you don't always know. Whereas I think there are other professions that like, you got to be on it. And especially like restaurant owners. I mean, you got to be like watching your stuff and putting in work and understanding how, like, they know their stuff and they're great business owners. So I think we become better over time. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from each other, and we learn from doing stuff like this, going to conferences like this. But it comes eventually.
I think that's it. That's kind of the gap we sort of try and fill or support, I think, as well, is because at the end of the day, like you say, the margins are great. Like the profession's very solid in many ways, right? You can be average at that stuff and to still do incredibly well or get there, but it's a long journey to get there, as you say. So I think creating spaces for like-minded people who are, ultimately all going through the same challenges. And this is one thing that I love about the TIO group and stuff as well, is I don't want to hear what you do well. I want to hear like the shit that went wrong. Because like that's where I'm like, oh, I definitely don't want to do that. Or thank you, because I absolutely would have done that. And I think there's so much power in that knowledge sharing. And like we talk about business karma a lot in the business, which is like one thing that you said that really stuck out to me was, if you deal with all of that, the money just takes care of itself. Do you know? And I think we really have this philosophy as well, which is like, put out good karma, good business karma. Like that might not make good commercial sense, but does it make good business karma sense? Then absolutely. Then we probably should lean into that a little bit as well, because
100%. Yeah. Well, it's so funny you bring that up. So that I'll be speaking at a conference in the fall, and a lot of it is talking about money and finances and things like that. And I looked at what they wanted me to speak on. I just said, sure, whatever. And it was like all about us, like financial, how to use your culture to, make whatever it is, millions or whatever. And I called the guy up. I'm like, that's not me, man. I don't know what you want me. I said, if I get up there, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for 30 minutes. I'm going to tell you, don't worry about the numbers. I was like, you really want me to go up and say that? He's like, heck yes, I do. And I said, okay, I'll do that. But the concept is take care of your people, take care of your mission and purpose, and lead with that. And if you're putting out, like you said, good karma, where you're just being kind to people, doing the best you can, you're not going to be perfect. No. And like you said, though, even in addition to you saying the bad stuff that happens in your office and you sharing those with other people, it also connects you to other people when you do that. Because you're like, wow, I'm not alone. Yeah, I'm not alone. Hey, you're messing up too. I'm messing up. Hey, that's great. Let's get over that. We're just out here surviving. Once you get over that, because we're all we're all afraid to fail. But once you all kind of look at each other and like, hey, we've all been there and done that. You get that out of the way. Now it can be us. Yeah. Now we can be real. Now we can be authentic, because we're not trying to like one up each other or whatever.
Egos are gone. Leave them at the door. Vulnerability is power. That sort of stuff. I really believe in that. I know sometimes you get some resistance on it, but I think especially in the ortho profession. But once they break through that, they go, okay,
Well, I think you guys did a good job. And I'm not saying this for they got awesome I am, but I think you guys did a good job with the speakers that you brought in, because listening to them too at this conference, it really just brought that kind of the ego the vulnerability in, And anyone who did have kind of like a little bit of any type of shield up, kind of you could feel it melt away the whole conference. And by the end of it, people were very connected in a beautiful way. So you guys did a good job managing this conference and
thank you,
bringing in good people. And I thought it was great.
No, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we couldn't have done it without you. And I think, you know, been an absolute pleasure to sit down. I know we didn't get much time together over the conference, but it's been nice to chat now and stuff. And I will not forget seeing headbanging Kurt Cobain for a very, very long time. But no, it's been a pleasure. And thank you so much for joining us, not only on the podcast, but also.
It's my pleasure. Conference. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
You're still cancelled on not coming to Australia, though.
I'll work on it. Awesome. I love it.
That's all we've got time for today. Make sure you subscribe and stay ahead of the curve. We'll be dropping a new episode of Tim Talks every month. Thanks for listening.